Welcome into the Scene Project Sports Network coverage of the PGA Championship. I am your host, Bubba Starts, and for the moment, I am flying solo. Pods will be here shortly. Alex Smalley continuing to lead as he has at least to have a share of it the entire tournament. Congrats to the young man. One more day to go, but puts himself in a great position to win this one, finishing the day 2 under to push himself to 6 under for the tournament. Let's bring Pods in. What's happening, Pods?
Not much. Sorry about that. Was getting myself all put together. Yeah, it seems like even with the conditions improving weather-wise, this course is still playing really tough.
It's just tough, right? Like I think that's ultimately what it comes down to is the course is just tough. Those rough is just completely unforgiving. You never know what's going to happen. You still had a bit of wind. I think it was less, and it's going to be even less tomorrow. But still, 20 with gusts up into the 30s. That's significant. And during the day, now it feels like it was improving towards the end of the day. Where it was a little windier to this morning, and then kind of as the front is moving out, that it's getting a little bit better. And why you saw some good rounds today, right? You saw a couple of 65, bunch of 66, a lot of guys moving. John Rahm had a big day moving. Rory McIlroy had a big day. Should have finished with a share of the lead himself today, but bogeyed on 17, I do believe, to kind of drop him back down. But you got so many guys that are just within striking range now. But what can you do? And I didn't realize this course was a par 70. So it's obviously a shorter course to begin with, not a lot of distance. So it's par 70. So even not a lot of chance out there for eagles, which is how some of these guys survive, right? Is hitting that long ball, being able to drive the green in 2 on these par 5s, and now not having that that advantage in there. I think it's affecting some of the long ball hitters that rely heavily on that distance.
Yeah, there's not a lot of par 4s you can drive to, even if you're a longer driver of the golf ball. So I think there's like maybe 1, 2 that you can drive, and even those are risky because I know this is going to seem a little irrelevant, but it's not. I played I played the PGA 2K25 golf game like when I'm relaxing with my friends, and like we played the course. We played Aramic, you know, and it's a tough course.
Ouch.
So
Ouch.
it's really like there's bunkers everywhere. The greens are protected.
Brian
And the
Campbell had
slope
himself
and
a
the
rough
greens
day today.
themselves are nasty. Like they slope. They slope, they're fast. It's I don't know how these guys, honestly, after playing it probably about 5, 6 times last night, I really don't know how the leader right now isn't like only at minus like 3. Still, it's so hard.
Brian Campbell shot a plus 12 today.
Yeah.
Jarvis with a plus 8. Kern with a plus 7. It's still doing damage, right? Couple of plus 4s in here, plus 5, right? So a lot of people still finishing well out of what they would usually finish at on a different tournament. And not a lot of water hazards. It's just this course can eat you up. And even a guy like Scotty Scheffler, who had a couple of bogeys out there to get today, shot one over on the day, unlike him to do so. But it really speaks to the challenging nature of this course in general. Now, you did have a few, like I mentioned, Rory obviously had himself a good day. Justin Rose shot 5 under. Chris Kirk shot 5 under today. So you had some guys that figured it out a little bit. But Alex Smalley continues to be consistent round after round after round. And that's what's put him in a position now to lead this tournament by 2 strokes. Not a commanding lead by any means, but if he goes out there and does it again, I don't see anyone really being able to truly catch him, right? Whoever moved today would have to do the same thing today. I think Rahm is probably the biggest name out there to kind of watch for. Obviously, McIlroy at 4 under, or at 3 under rather, shooting a 4 under today. But still, that if he goes out and plays as well as he did today, which you think was pretty darn good, it still only gets him to 6 under, right? So it's or 7 under rather. So there is a lot to be had out there still. But if Alex Smalley can continue to play the way that he's been playing, I think he comes away with a big win in this tournament. But he's going to have to fend off some dogs coming after him. I would say most notably for me, Jon Rahm, after his 3 under bid today, seems like he's kind of figuring this course out. And it seems like the conditions tomorrow are going to be the best they have all tournament.
Yeah, I still think when it comes to Alex Smalley, if he can do this again, he's probably going to win the tournament going in at, I don't know, -8, -9. Rom, like you said, Rombo, McIlroy, they're going to have, Rose even, they're going to have another round, and probably even a better round than they had today. And they had a pretty good round by all stretches of the imagination. But if Smalley can keep playing consistent, post a -2, -3 under, they're going to have to really push. Like, I don't see him losing unless he just implodes on Sunday and
Well,
posts like a
and
+2
even
or
today,
something.
he started off his round with a bogey on 1, but was able to kind of like calm it back down and to go out there and to shoot, at least 3 under the rest of the day after that, right? So, suffice to say, the 29-year-old probably feeling a bit of pressure and having that, but also I feel like there's a lot more pressure on the guys that are playing from behind, especially that are going to be teeing off early in the day, not knowing where where the leader is going to be at the end of the day. You have to come out and to shoot another 65 or a 66 tomorrow to even put yourself in a position to win this, with expecting that, Smalley and Rahm are going to post, this 2, 3, 4 under range that, he's kind of been in over the course of the week. So it's going to be a really awesome finish, like you said, and Smalley could implode, right? It could be one bad hole that kind of sinks any one of these players off the leaderboard and out of the tournament. And now you have what's shaping up to be a really incredible Sunday at the PGA Championship. And I think everybody's looking forward to tuning in and watching all the coverage this tomorrow on Sunday.
Yeah, it's pretty. I mean, yes, he's up by 2, but it's still very gettable. Like the lead is, because Smalley, and again, Smalley is like a younger Rom, just consistent. That's what he does. He's consistent all the time. Now, do I think that he's gonna have a different experience tomorrow? Absolutely, because I don't think Smalley has been leading in a major tournament going into Sunday ever. So this is going to be very new. It's one thing to be leading in a regular tour event. It's a whole nother thing to be leading the PGA Championship going into the last day.
No doubt. No doubt. And going to be feeling that pressure. How does the 29-year-old Smalley handle that? This would be his first major win, if I'm not mistaken. But he's played really good golf this year. I think they today, I heard the coverage say that he's had 5 top 25 finishes. So he's been swinging fairly well. Did not play in the Masters, so doesn't have, any of that experience as far as the major.
Hey, he wins this.
goes,
He
but
gets an automatic bid.
Right. Right. Well, which, you know what? I hope he does hang on to there. It's nice to see some new names always towards the top of the leaderboard, and really incredible run that he's been on. It's extremely gratifying to have a group of people. Sorry, I'm
A
trying to
new
find some photos from today. I had some golf
it's
experiences of my own
hey,
today, but
It's extremely gratifying to see some new blood as well up there leading the pack versus just, Rory, Rom, Scheffler. Like, it's nice to see, these last couple of weeks, especially, you know, post Masters, seeing. Uh-oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me. It's nice to see someone who's not those three. So, like, we got to see Matt Fitzpatrick take home the plaid jacket. We got to see, him and his brother win at the Truest. And then we got to see Cam Young take one. So now it's going to be really interesting to see if another relatively newer face of the PGA can take home a big one.
And I think that's good for the game, ultimately, that it
Creates new stars.
Exactly. And at 29, he's not, by any stretch of the imagination, the youngest player on the tour or anything. But this would be, like I said, first major championship win for him. It would be nice to see someone who's been playing well get a chance. This isn't a fluke. He's been playing well and playing consistent. You don't finish in the top 25, a handful of times in the short, in the first half of the season yet, if you're not playing good golf. So would be really awesome to see him go out there and get himself a win. But we'll have to see, and we're all going to have to tune in tomorrow to find out if he's able to pull it off.
Yeah, I would have to argue too, when it comes to golf, anyway, that the primes are very different than your traditional sports like soccer, football, baseball, basketball. You can play golf professionally, even if you get a late start, until you're like 50. Furyk played in the PGA Tour until he was like 52 before he went to the Champions Tour. And these guys are only getting healthier, they're getting stronger, they're getting more mechanically sound fundamentals, and these guys can play for a long time. Like, I honestly think if Scheffler wanted to, if Rory wants to, for that matter, those guys can probably play until they're almost 60 professionally because their swings are effortless. They're still incredible ball strikers at their age.
Well, and the part of the game and why it is tends to be for that you hit your prime a little bit later in that is because it's not just about sheer athletic ability, right? It's
mental.
It is pressure. It is the mental game, which is why Tiger Woods was such a phenom, because he came in as a very young man and was able to perform at the highest level, no doubt, because he had been swinging a club since he could walk. Right. So, and you have a lot of these guys that are growing up and kind of in that, Rory McIlroy being a great example of that, and why he is the professional that he is. Scheffler, a lot of the same, on his side, playing in the collegiate ranks.
It's not common though.
It speaks to how hard it is to make it in this sport, to get to that level and to continue to play at a high level and to do it week after week after week.
Right. But Bubba, I think that personally, because you had two phenoms like Tiger Woods, and then right after Tiger was starting to come to the end of his run, you had McIlroy enter the scene and do what he did when he was young. It kind of shifted expectations in golf for these guys to almost be like AAU, travel ball team. Like, oh, wow, these guys have to be that good when they're young now. Forgetting that these guys are, not only are they professionals, but Tiger Woods and Rory are one of ones. Like, they're not the norm. They are not the common professional golfer. They are phenoms. Like, they came into their own at a very young age, whereas Scheffler is just now hitting his peak, and he didn't start winning until he was like, what, 27? 28?
Yeah. So I mentioned I got to have some fun out on the golf course today. Now, I didn't swing the clubs at all, but I was out with the Veteran Golf Association, supporting them with Operation Combating Veteran Suicide. A great shot of all these amazing people that were joining us. This is the view I want to go for right here. 35 veterans and members of the VGA of South Dakota and Nebraska. I got to go take part and to shoot a bunch of film out there today. I had an absolutely wonderful time hanging out with everybody. Operation Combating Veterans Suicide, our foundation that I'm the director of marketing and PR for. Got to tag along, got to meet a bunch of great people. I had an absolute blast hanging out with everyone, and what an amazing course at Tatanka Golf Club. Really impressed with the course, as I always have been. I got to play out there last year, had a really great time doing that. Trying to find a good maybe a little bit of a video that we can play here.
Hey,
Here's
Bubba,
one
could you
that-
move me backstage really quick? I gotta go.
Yeah, so huge shout out to the VGA, the Veteran Golf Association. If you are a veteran, I highly recommend that you get to check it out. Really incredible time that I had with everyone out there. Very blessed to have the opportunity to support other veteran organizations as well as our own Operation Combating Veterans Suicide. These amazing golfers out there competing against themselves and one another. Some great medals, every one of them a veteran or relation of a veteran. Huge shout out to Tatanka Golf Club, who is just amazing. Amazing course in Niobrara, Nebraska. If you're ever in Northeast Nebraska or around in Southeast South Dakota, close to where I am, I would love to go out there with you. So had a blast with everyone out there today. Appreciate being able to support our veterans in everything that we do. And it was really great getting to go out there. Also want to shout out the Skunked Golf Classic, our sponsors, Skunked Golf, the hat that I'm wearing. They are hosting a charity golf tournament on June 27th. That will be up in Minot, North Dakota. Really grateful to Skunked for supporting everything that we do here in our golf coverage on the on the Scene Project Sports Network. So if you are in the North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota area, you want to take part in a great tournament supporting the Minot Public Schools. It's at Apple Grove Golf Course. You can find out more at skunkedgc.com. Skunked is SKUNKD. GC.com. I know there's still some openings there for the tournament coming up here June 27th. We're really grateful to Skunked for everything that they do for us. I know Pods is appreciating all the gear that they have sent his way, as well as I have. I had it out on the course with me today. Just a really great time getting to support our veterans, getting to be a part of an amazing event, and looking forward to doing a lot more with them. So just wanted to shout out of my good friends in the VGA, the Veteran Golf Association of South Dakota and Nebraska. Got to meet some really amazing people, Tyler Voigt and WD. Appreciate you guys for being on with us, and looking forward to a lot more information coming out from them, a lot of really great stuff coming from them. So just wanted to shout that out real quick. Happy that I got to spend some time out there today.
How was it?
It was good, man. Weather was nice, a little overcast, but not cold by any means. I sat out there really just working the first hole, got some really great footage, everybody teeing off and their approaches, and some great shots on the green. This course is absolutely magnificent. It really is a top 10 course in the world. Just amazing. The rolling hills of Nebraska right across the Missouri River from where I live. Absolutely incredible. I hope we all get the chance to go and hit it togetger, Pods. And yeah, here's a little clip. You can see the course just absolutely amazing. The way it comes off a one there and then down the hill, and you play coming through the valley. There's a couple of spots where you come up on the hill, you're driving across creeks, and challenging. I mean, the course is extremely challenging, but absolutely beautiful. It's in such great shape all the time. And shout out to Troy Harder, the PGA pro over there. Just a really great guy. Allowed me to go out last year and hit 9 just to shoot some content and everything. So really grateful to be out there, getting to provide a little bit of service, not only to the golf association, but to the course as well. So looking forward to working with them for a long time to come. I mean, really, there's 3. I have a really nice public course right outside of town here, and then we have what they termed themselves this, but they call it the Pebble Beach of South Dakota, which is down along the upper hills. So on the other side of the river is Springfield, South Dakota, and they have a course that runs right along the way there, and a couple of holes that go right along where you can see down into the Missouri River Valley, and just a great spot, a great place for a couple of really incredible courses, and very grateful to live, a 10-20 minute drive from either one of them.
That sounds amazing. I'd love to play those courses.
Yeah, well, if you ever make it out here, we're playing a whole grip of golf, right? So there's a lot to come from that and our coverage. And that's why we continue to dip in with you guys and just talk a little bit of golf. Help us build our channel. Make sure you subscribe if you're watching. If you're listening on the podcast versions, thank you. Make sure you share this with a friend who loves golf as well. We want to do a lot more charity tournaments with our charity and others. Obviously, Skunked being a big part of what we do. We're really just getting our feet underneath of us as a network and as a community. So we're really looking forward to growing this over the next several years and really building something that is where everyone can get together, where it's not just about us on the course and shooting, but it's about bringing other people together and really building a community of golfers that all, kind of think alike and share similar values. And that's what's great about the Veteran Golf Association, is because it's just that. And I spoke with a gentleman today, David Pierce, who's a general in our, I do believe, in the Air Force. And he was the honorary captain out at the Big Liberty Cup last week. I do believe it was in Pennsylvania, I want to say. So that's a national VGA tournament. And what in the military, what you'll have is that the officers don't necessarily hang out with the guys that are below them, right? You're very segmented away from your non-commissioned and your officers. So we have what the VGA does is it brings anyone who's a veteran together. And he pointed out that that's really cool to see, guys that were in for 4 or 5 years, but also guys that were in for 30, right? And you have all of them together, united by their service to their country. They all come from, they know the challenges that they faced as a veteran of our armed services, and they're all united by that and the love of golf. And for me, it doesn't really get any better than that. I'm so glad that, I can kind of find my way into these organizations because of our affiliation with Operation Combating Veteran Suicide. But I'm extremely grateful just to get to know these men and women now and to have another community to really tap into and to be able to serve them. And, if I get to run around with a camera a little bit on some really great courses, following them around and sharing their stories with the world, then so be it. So today was a little test run of not only what, they do, but what we can do to provide into that. And the VGA is doing, 30, 45 events during the year. So we're going to have lots of chances to get back out there with all of these amazing veterans and active duty military. So huge shout out to them. Huge shout out to Tatanka Golf Club there in Niobrara, Nebraska. I cannot recommend that you go and play that course once in your life more than I am right now. So Pods, anything that you want to address about the tournament and going into Sunday before we get out of here?
Not really. I think that it's going to be tough. These are going to be the hardest pins that these guys have seen yet. And I honestly think, like what we touched on earlier, if Smalley can just stay consistent, avoid any blow-up holes, I really think it's his tournament to lose. And I was going to point out earlier when you said that he bogeyed the first hole, hey, man, rather bogey the first one than bogey the last one.
Yeah, especially if it's going to cost you. And it looked like Rory was going to put himself in a position to enter the clubhouse as as the leader earlier today, and bogeyed on 17, saved his par on 18 after a pretty difficult shot. But this course, and with the way that the course turns so much, right? It's going back and forth that sometimes you're hitting into the wind and you're having to club up maybe one or two, and then the other way, the wind's behind you and it carries that ball an extra 15 feet, taking you from landing on the green with a nice chance at a birdie putt to putting you 15 feet beyond the green in this thick rough, scrambling to try and save a bogey, right? So this course is one of the toughest that I've ever seen out here, as far as, especially being just a par 70, right? That it doesn't get much more difficult than this. And what an awesome course to put the best of the best out there against one another for the PGA Championship. It just doesn't get any better than this. Looking forward to an awesome competitive Sunday. It really is anyone's. Smalley has to play well for himself to pull out a win, but he's got to stave off some legends in the game right now. He's got to stave off a John Rahm, a Scotty Scheffler needs to play pretty well himself to put himself in a position, but that's not beyond him. And Rory McIlroy shot a 66 today. He's nipping at the heels, figuring this course out. It seems it's really who can avoid the mistakes, right? And that's going to be the tale of Sunday. And with the course conditions and the weather conditions kind of being, I think, the best that we're going to see over the week, even with the challenging pin locations, I wouldn't be surprised if you saw a few more 65s out there, maybe a 64, and maybe that's exactly what it's going to take from somebody to beat out Smalley, because it seems like he's got this course kind of dialed in right now and has performed through all of the really difficult times well. So maybe it's the 29-year-old Alex Smalley who goes out and has himself a day tomorrow, shoots a 65, and really runs away with this one. Only time will tell. We'll all be tuning in tomorrow. PGA Championship. We followed it online. I know there were streams on YouTube today. All great types of great coverage of this event. So make sure you're tuning in, and then come back here with us at 6:30 tomorrow evening. We're going to wrap up the weekend's coverage of the PGA Championship and have a great time with us right before we head into our other stream at 7 for 789 to recap the weekend baseball. So if you're a sports fan, we encourage you to subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate everybody tuning in with us this week as we cover a great weekend of golf action. My name is Bubba Starts. I was joined tonight by my co-host Pods. We will be back again tomorrow at 6:30, and we may have some special guests with us to recap the whole weekend. So you guys be good. Podcast version of this will be going out tomorrow morning, and you can listen to that if you missed it and get caught up on the tournament and get ready for action on Sunday there as well. Appreciate everybody. Pods, have yourself a great night, sir, and we will see you tomorrow for our day 4 coverage of the PGA Championship.
Have a good one.
Hey guys, I just wanted to pop in and tell you about a great new company that we just started working with. Skunked Golf Company out of North Dakota sent us some awesome gear. Man, they got some great stuff, y'all. They got some awesome hats. They sent us some great polo and collared shirts, some t-shirts, skirts for the ladies too, and some sweet visors. Go check them out. Skunked Golf online.